Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am David Vitale, President of the Chicago Board of Education, and on behalf of my fellow members, I welcome you to today's Board of Education meeting. Today is 24th, 2014, and we are holding this month's meeting here at the Board Chambers at 125 South Clark. We will follow our normal order of events during the meeting. So with that, Madam Secretary, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Thank you, Mr. President. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. The regular meeting of Wednesday, September 24th, 2014 is hereby called to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dr. Beenan.
Here.
Dr. Hines.
Here.
Vice President Reese.
Here.
Member Zapp.
Here.
Dr. Escoitia.
Present.
Board Member Quazzo.
Here.
President Vitale.
Here.
7 members present. There is a quorum, and I would also like to recognize our General Counsel, Mr. James Bebley. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. It's obvious, but I want to comment on the fact that Dr. Bird Bennett is not with us today. Unfortunately, she was called away to deal with a family emergency, and she sends her regrets for not being with us today. With that, as you all know, September 2nd was our first day of school, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank our parents, our teachers, principals, and school staff for all of the preparations made for the start of a successful school year. For our students to reach their full potential, they must be in school on time every day. So with that, our management wants to talk about attendance and how the opening of school went. And we're going to ask John Barker to give us a report on school attendance.
Thank you, President Vitale, members of the board. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We'll show some slides and then also have some opportunity for recognition of excellence this morning. We have some principals, some school leaders with us who have demonstrated some impressive gains, impressive results earlier on in the school year. And take note of those as we begin this new school year. So, if I could see that first slide. Thank you so much. You'll remember that summary data from the 2013-14 school year have been calculated, and we've shared this with you, and we've shared it publicly, but I want to make sure that everyone understands that the last school year and the specific focus on attendance has been incredibly systematic, incredibly widespread, and incredibly engaging across all of our departments across the district and here at central office. So what we did was saw, as this graph points out, an increase of 0.7 percentage points, nearly a full percentage point up from the prior year's data in terms of the attendance rate for students in 2012, from 2012-13 to 2013-14. It's just important to remember that as we build on that success, what we absolutely wanted to do was start well in the beginning of the new school year. So when the school year started on September the 2nd, all across Chicago, students did settle into their new classrooms, teachers were met, and new friends were made. It's important to know, too, that this happened without notice. I mean, obviously, when things go well, you don't get a lot of media coverage on that. But in fact, what it was a very smooth start and smooth opening to the start of the school year. So no conflict, no controversy, just classroom after classroom, brimming with excitement and positive energy. So students and teachers were energized, excited, and thinking about one thing, and that one thing was learning. I want to remind you that research has shown very clearly that, in fact, that this good start to the school year builds good patterns of attendance. Good patterns of attendance with regular and consistent attendance in schools means very good things for the academic outcomes that follow, up to and including high school graduation. So I want to make sure to share a few slides today that talk to you about how things have started for us in the new school year. What we did was engaged a number of offices across the organization. So Phil Hampton and the Office of Family and Community Engagement, Paula Yates and the hundreds of community volunteers and partners, Arthi Dupelia and her team in College and Career Success, Denise Little and all of the network chiefs, principals and teachers and parents across the district. You get the picture. You get the picture. This was a concerted effort across the district, a systematic effort, B2S, back to school. And what we said was back to school, stay in school. And with that, we had our team across the district, across central office especially, that did more than 80 neighborhood events, put up billboards, handed out church fans, and conducted door-to-door outreach, participated in 3 parades, the Bud Billiken Parade, the Inglewood Back to School Parade, the Danny Davis Back to School Parade. One important thing was added this year as well, these phone banks. So we had people who were calling, especially to those rising 9th grade families, the families of 9th grade students, to make sure they made a smooth transition to high school. Oftentimes there's a concern with leaving 8th grade, going to a 9th grade program where there wouldn't be that continuity. What we said was, we're going to do a reach out. So those phone banks reached more than 25,000 calls, and then for those parents who were not able to be reached, there was knocking door to door. And finally on this page here too, kudos to all of our community partners and to Phil's team and to all of you who support the Interfaith Prayer Breakfast. There were 400 people plus at that event. The mayor spoke, our CEO spoke, and it's just a really one more effort and initiative to ensure that the community turns out in its support of getting kids back in school. So then there's the so what? The so what is this slide. And what it shows is that our first day of school attendance this year was higher than previous years. A record attendance of 93.7% of students who were projected to be there on the first day from the expected enrollment showed up. That's higher than the last 2 years that you see on that graph.
Clap for that. That's good.
And with thanks to Dr. Hines especially for being at the Bud Billiken Parade to help lead the charge on getting people out to school, that what you see is the efforts paid off. And not only did they pay off on the first day and on the front end of this, but also throughout that first week. Now, one thing that might be running through your mind, why is attendance lower there on the first day than it is on the second day, day 2? Now remember, day 1 was the day after Labor Day. That was Tuesday. What we don't know is anything other than the number of students who are projected to be at school on that first day of school. Let me just say that a little bit slower and a little bit differently. Everyone who has registered, everyone who has told us that they are going to be there, everyone we are expecting to be there, all those students either show up or don't show up. 93.7% of them showed up. But on day 2, what you actually have are the kids who you know are now enrolled and who are now members, have membership in the school district. So now the attendance rate on the second day is actually measured against that. So that's the way that attendance gets measured, especially the difference between day 1 and day 2. But again, the overall here is that attendance for that first week was higher this year than ever before. Now, what we have are success stories across Chicago with people who were engaged in very, very special ways on day 1. And I want to just take a minute or two to call these out. When Judith Benjamin walked into class on September the 2nd, she began her 47th year with CPS, one of the 2 longest serving teachers in all of the district. Also on the first day, James Fitzgerald, who is the other of the second longest serving, a social science teacher at Hubbard High School, returned to the classroom on his beginning of his 47th year. Ms. Benjamin and Mr. Fitzgerald began their teaching careers at CPS on the same day, September 4th, 1967. As a special education teacher at Warren Elementary School, Mrs. Benjamin is known for her patience, her thoughtfulness, and her understanding of each student's diverse and special learning needs. Mr. Fitzgerald has spearheaded Hubbard's law program and spent his career helping students pursue their passions for law, political science, and government. He's described as firm but a loving teacher who for 47 years has put the needs of his students first. While they're not here today, let's give them a round of applause. We're able to get principals to come out, but trying to get teachers to come out from their classrooms, especially these two after 47 years, would be a bit of a challenge. At Burr Elementary, so you know about the Jackie Robinson West baseball team, right? Those students went back to class on the 2nd of September. And at Burr Elementary, 8th grader Darian Ratcliffe walked into a school on the first day and was greeted with a hero's welcome. Students in every grade came to school dressed in yellow to honor Darian's success as a member of the Jackie Robinson West Little League baseball team. And with him at the center, the school's entire student body marched out to the athletic field for a photo, a sea of yellow shirts eager to share in the joy of their classmate. Further north at Lane Tech, students arrived on the first day to a brand newly updated tech-heavy, tech-focused facility. Tools for the robust 21st century education. The investments included a lab for robotics, high-tech 3D printing, upgraded art and music studios, and aquaponics. Now I gotta tell you, these are just 4 of the thousands and thousands and thousands of first day stories that were very exciting. I'm gonna tell you about just a few more. And if I could, the principals who are going to join us, if you guys would come on up. So now, as a district, we worked really hard to make sure that every student was in school on the first day, because as we've said, we know how important first day is. This year, many of our schools showed outstanding attendance rates. Today, we're pleased to honor the hard work of the teams at Crane, DePriest, Heffron, and Kershaw, each of which saw an attendance rate above 99% for that first week. We want to make special note this morning that the growth in attendance at Crane was very impressive as well. So, on behalf of the CEO and my colleagues, I'm honored to introduce the principals of our recognized schools this morning. From Crane, Principal Farida Shabazz. From DePriest, Principal Minnie Watson is represented today by Assistant Principal Victoria Perry. From Heffron, and making her second consecutive board meeting attendance and appearance to be recognized in front of this body in 2 months, Principal Jacqueline Hearns, and attendance coordinator today, Kenneth Fuller. And from Kershaw, Principal Veronica Nash. We congratulate these schools on their accomplishments and celebrate them as examples for the entire district. In collaboration with Arthur Dupelia's team, our researchers in the Office of Accountability will be reviewing best practices and across the district and sharing those widely. With our dedicated staff and comprehensive attendance plan, all CPS schools can achieve this high level of success. I would ask the school leaders now if they would come and share a brief word with the board.
Good morning.
I'm Farida Shabazz. I'm the principal at the Crane High School campus, and I just want to give my sincere thank you to the board and the leaders at Chicago Public Schools. We couldn't have done this without you. The huge push, the Bud Billiken Parade, the lawn placards, the billboards, the phone calls, it is an all-hands-on-deck effort. So on behalf of the parents and the students and the community of Richard T. Crane High School, I would just like to sincerely thank you for all of your help and support with making sure that our students are in school every day. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Hearns, principal of Helen M. Heffron Elementary School, and my attendance coordinator, Kenneth Fuller, is here with me. I thank you for recognizing Heffron's attendance on behalf of our students, staff, and parents. I would also like to thank my chief, Wanda Washington, and her Network 5 staff for their support of our attendance efforts, along with my attendance coordinator, Kenneth Fuller, and Heffron's attendance committee. We at Heffron, along with the attendance committee, are working every day to create an environment that encourages our staff to connect to our students, and those staff cultivate an environment that challenges our students and keeps them connected. Every morning, I have staff positioned in the hallways to say good morning to our students, and if they can, to use their names so that they know someone was looking for them today and that someone was glad to see them. I must say, it doesn't hurt to have a good cooking staff. I am grateful that you recognize our efforts, and I thank you for your continued support. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Victoria Perry. I'm the assistant principal at Oscar DePriest Elementary School. And on behalf of my principal, Minnie Watson, and my teachers and my students and my parents, our heartfelt thank you for recognizing our efforts to getting all the students in school. At DePriest, we say we engage, we believe, we succeed. And every day when you answer the phone, you'll hear it. When you walk in our building, you'll hear it. We embody that. I'm just overwhelmed. We've worked so hard. You know, last year was a tough year, and this year we came back ready, you know, to push forward, and the efforts are being seen every day. With that, I thank you all again for recognizing us, and we will continue the hard work with your support. Thank you.
Good morning again to the board. I'm Dr. Veronica Nash, the principal of Kershaw Magnet School. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you for taking this time to honor and to recognize the schools for their attendance efforts. As you know, we work extremely hard to make sure that students are in school each and every day. So this is just a prime example of the work that we do is not being taken in vain. Over the course of the summer, there was a lot of planning that took place in our school to make sure that students were here every day. We had some practices that were in place that entailed forming those positive relationships with our parents, that entailed forming a very strong attendance team so that we could review and look at some of those structures that we had to see what was working and what was not working. That also entailed making sure that we went to visit those homes of parents within the first 60 to 90 minutes if the students were not in school. It also entailed those weekly meetings with our network, so thank you, Chief Kirby, for that. But all of those practices help to make our attendance what you see it is today. And so we also know that attendance is crucial in terms of academic achievement. As a result, we saw a direct correlation between our attendance and our academic gains. For example, on our 2014 NWEA data, in terms of our growth, we ranked the 99th percentile in reading and the 76th percentile in math. And so for that, we are truly, truly excited about those efforts. And so again, I just want to say on behalf of the greatest staff in the city of Chicago, my Kershaw Magnet School staff, students and parents, we say thank you, and thank you.
One final slide. Many thanks to the principals and school leaders for joining us today. Just want to say that as we started off the presentation with the importance of attendance and how it leads to successful outcomes for students, one of the things we do focus on is graduation rate and beyond. So the college and career, college enrollment, career preparation, the persistence in college and careers. So one of the things that I wanted to highlight for you all and for the community is a specific opportunity that's coming up. And to help our students and parents explore all of their high school options at one time, we proudly announce that we as a district will participate in a community-wide Chicago School Fair on Saturday, October 4th and Sunday, October 5th at McCormick Place. This informational fair will be open from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. both days. This will be an excellent opportunity for students to speak with all of our high schools about the wonderful programs and activities they have to offer. Families can also use this as a chance to speak with CPS departments. The Office of Diverse Learners will be there. The Office of College and Career Success will be there. The Office of Language and Culture will be there. So it will be a great chance for parents to come out and learn more about the specific kinds of supports we offer to students across the district. I want to end by saying many thanks to all of the schools and departments participating in this very important event, and hope that as many families as possible will take advantage of this opportunity and find out which high school is right for them. President Vitale, this ends my report.
Thank you, John. All of us here at the board also were out there on the first day, and I think I went to 3 or 4 schools myself, and we all have our stories of excitement and the gleam in the eyes of young people ready to go to work in school, and I know it was a great day. From that experience, maybe some of our board members have questions about your presentation or about the attendance issues. Do I see any? Deborah.
I do.
Okay. Let me start with Deborah.
You go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I really want to thank the leadership in the schools and communities for making this difference and maximizing the support that we were able to provide principals, teachers, parents, and communities. You know, as a principal, I always said graduation begins the first day of school. And that's where it all begins instead of waiting until the end. It's a journey. But I do want to, as we disaggregate data, I would be interested in finding out attendance data in consolidated schools. How did that, as we had movement in all of that. I would also like to see the connections to initiatives like Safe Passage as we continue to take a look at the data. And then we need neighborhoods and communities with multiple school models to come together and see where this happened, what made a difference in particular communities, so that we learn from our success as well as our challenges. But I thank you for this information.
Great. John, I just had one, because obviously back to school, I think another initiative you did under that same real umbrella was also trying to work very hard to get our graduating seniors back to school into college. So your work didn't sort of stop at the 12th grade graduation gate. Do we have any sense for how successful that back to school effort was?
So one of the things that we'll have as data that will be coming through the course of the next year will be that college enrollment. That one of the major concerns for students, especially minority and low-income students, is a phenomenon called summer melt, and where you end up with students who have great plans, great strategies, who don't necessarily end up in the college that they were intending to go to. So what we are doing is collaborating with Arthy's team and the College and Career Success Group to find out how we can better support students in that process and schools in that process as well. We access, though, the National Student Clearinghouse data, And we'll have information later this fall about those students and where they went.
Other questions, comments? Don, thank you very much.
Jesse.
Sorry, Jesse, I didn't see you.
Late at the buzzer, but I just want to say thanks to the principals, because I was just recently at a retreat of our law firm, and we had a consultant come in and talk about a lot of different things, but one thing he pointed out, and I think it applies to schools as much as the workplace, that it's the social factors that folks appreciate most about their workplace and their communities, and a school is one of the most important communities in most of our families' lives. And when we were younger, in most of our lives, that was our world. And so thanks to those principals who are here, and some were very humble in not acknowledging their critical efforts in creating that sense of community, making sure that child who enters and young adult who enters schools every day feel welcome, feel wanted, feel needed there, and that we don't do from here. That happens in every building and every school in the city. And so thank you for all the great educators and administrators and cooks who make that possible every day.
Anybody else? Thanks, Jesse. I think you spoke for all of us with that statement. Very good, John. Thank you.